you have a strong discipline. You do, but it's very easy for you to give in. You could be in a certain mood and you just give in. Once you give in, it's a matter of time before you're back taking the opiates again, because what you do is you drink. Once you drink, you have a bad back and you forget, but your knees messed up and you forget that when you're drunk. And then you want to pick up the big girls and you want to, make the hot girl like be like, oh, why doesn't he pick me up? No, I'll get the big old mama, you know what I'm saying? Try to impress. And then the next day, my back's hurting and I know it's going to hurt subconsciously. So when I stop by the blow man's house on the way home, I not only do I get the blow to keep me awake, but I grab the painkillers for the next day, and then I grab the Xanax knowing that, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping. And then I grab some Adderall to wake me back up for the next day so I can go back to the shows. Shit. It's the one-stop pit shop, So I had to realize like all that shit had to stop in order for me to really do it. And this is the longest that I've ever been sober in my life, since I was in juvenile hall. I mean, my juvenile hall was the only time I was really sober. I was smoking weed. Other than that, since like my dad died when I was 13, it was like, been nonstop something. At least weed for sure. Yeah.
Weird shit happens on this podcast.
Yeah. Weird shit always happens when I'm around. So
it's true.
Chad
and I don't dance at all. I've seen him dance before. He can't.
That's not true.
I'm joking. He's looking. He got
super
different.
offended.
I can't dance. I'm always envious of that guy shaking out there. Billy can dance.
It's always the person with 2 left feet that calls everybody out.
That's me, bro. I can't dance. So you're a good shaker, Chat? You can move you could shake, you could cut a rug, or however they say it.
Cut a rug. How old are you?
56, bro. I'm fucking 56. Okay, take it or leave it.
Still slicing pie.
I'm still. Yeah, I'm slicing pie. Married 15 years, bro. Shit, 3 kids deep.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's what we call all the way.
All the way. God.
I just need to ask you real quick because my wife's asking me how legit is unearthed. Very legit.
Oh yeah, very. Yes.
Very legit. Are we live? I don't want to make that lady mad.
No.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she does good stuff. It's not for everybody. It helped me.
What?
I said it's not for everybody, but it helped me.
Helped you?
Yeah.
How come you guys are both wearing Solen shirts? Because like they haven't DM'd us for our sponsorship. So, fuck you.
Yeah. You got 5 free ones.
I'm gonna tag Solen in this one. And
yeah, we have to.
You guys can no longer wear Solen shirts on the podcast.
That's fine. I'll go back to Hopeaholics
until they
hashtag unbranded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wore their shirt the other day purposely because I had. Did you see that when I was like 9 million followers that lady had, and I was like pointing it out. Nothing. Well, they actually didn't watch that story. They didn't. So fuck it. I only left it up for 6 hours and they didn't respond, so I deleted it.
Kick the bucket.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying. The reason why I'm trying so hard is because I have been wearing Solen from like before they were even a big brand.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I've spent thousands of dollars. They could at least, and I'm not asking like I don't need money out of it.
Tag me in your story, bro.
Tag me in your story.
That's all we want.
And send us free swag every once in a while.
And if you even forget the free swag, I'll pay for it. We'll pay for it. Just tag us.
I'm not paying for it, dude.
All right.
I'm gonna start wearing my own swag if they
are. Yeah.
I've been wearing Under Armour like for years, right?
Hoping for an Under Armour. That's a little tag, That's pretty big. Yeah. Like I'm gonna go for Under Armour. Like that's going for it.
It fits so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never found a shirt that fits as good as Under Armour.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the tight.
I used to like the Nordstrom brand T-shirts that were similar to that. Except for that one looks like it wicks sweat nicely, dries quick. Is that an Under Armour shirt?
No, it's my first time wearing it. It's on there. Got it from Amazon.
You got it
Amazon
from
Essentials. I love
I'm
Amazon,
a cheap
bro.
bastard.
But I can't get the good fit from Amazon sometimes.
Really?
I'm in between extra large and large.
Just so you guys know, this shirt is actually from Amazon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
it fits pretty good.
it's all style.
Yeah.
Or what is
Essential.
it?
Print on demand.
Yeah, well, I just bought the black shirt and
you
had my
printed it on
guy
yourself?
Yeah, I got some black shirts the other day.
Do
I
it.
should have the logo.
the guy that did this table did this shirt.
It's got a nice fit. It's got that athletic fit.
Yeah.
I like it because like I have a hard, the softer cottons like your guys. I'm so short that I should be an extra large, but then they're too long and they look funny. And the larges make me look like I'm really trying too hard. You guys ever like feel like that? I mean, that shirt's pretty tight, but you're pretty yoked.
Yeah, he is.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Shmedium.
Shane wears the extra Shmedium.
Yeah, I wear the
usually.
extra medium. So
Yeah.
this is an extra
I
medium.
turned on it and
It's fucking
air,
hot.
and it's like
It's
whew,
really hot.
I'm like in a short sleeve and I'm sweating.
Yeah, they made a size just for me. It says SM on there.
Medium. Is that's where it's from, huh? A Shmedium is actually a small. It's a small.
Medium is a small.
I just got it right now.
I just
All
got it
these
too,
years,
bro.
like
I
for
just got it
fucking
right
10
now too.
I don't know, probably like 10 years I've been saying Shmedium. And
So
this
small.
guy finally tells me
It's small.
that a Shmedium is actually
A small. A small.
I haven't even had an energy drink or anything. Shit's just fucking
They're on
funny.
the
I'm
juice.
sweating
They're on
like,
the juice. Yeah, I'm sweating too.
Sweating like a mofo. Is
Wow.
it on?
So I turned it on. You feel it now?
I feel nothing.
You feel it now?
We were rubbing feet before you got in here.
Yeah,
so
we
we're a little
were.
heated up right now. A little hot and bothered.
Yeah,
Tickled me with his beard.
I kick you guys.
Yeah.
I'm the guest kicker.
Yeah.
I thought it was him.
No.
Usually, I don't kick you.
No.
Were you caressing my foot, or is it?
That was him.
That was me. I'm the foot caresser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel weird when I do that though.
Yeah.
I was like, is it
Like in the middle of a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Kick the person
wait,
and
there's
me
no
make eye
bar.
contact.
There's no bar here. You're seriously a weirdo. I'll have to tell you something.
Oh shit.
Podcasts are so weird because like I could be in the worst mood ever.
Yeah.
Which I my stress level is like at a 12 today.
Yeah.
And then I walked in here and bam, just everything goes away.
Melts.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. Put on these headphones, put the microphone in front of you.
Yeah.
You get one-on-one with the,
You want to see the one-on-one? I'm retired, man. I'm retired.
Are we going there? Are we going there already? Because that was a question. That was a question I had on my list of questions that I don't do. But I wonder, like being a male stripper, do you sometimes have to dance for men, right?
Yeah, we don't use lube. You weren't asking that.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, my cheeks are sore already. Fuck.
The life of a stripper.
Yeah.
We had one other.
Yeah, we did. Callie.
Callie Muscle.
Yeah, bro.
He said,
Callie stripped?
Yes.
Really? You
That's
didn't
what it's
yeah, you
saying.
can go back and watch the podcast.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. He's like, I got out of prison, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Flip them.
You're
Just flip them like
yeah.
so your cord's on the other side.
Okay.
It'll make you look more handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
There you go.
I like when shit hangs over my right shoulder, not left.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah, Callie's like, what am I gonna do? I just got out of prison.
I'm all yoked up.
All yoked up.
Yeah.
Think I'll be a stripper.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it, you know?
Yeah.
Shit.
Did he specify like house parties or club?
No
or?
clubs.
His first
So he was dancing
first
for the gay
show.
dudes.
His first show was 10,000 women.
Oh, wow. Where's
Who
that?
was
Yeah.
You'll have to go back and watch the podcast. It's at the beginning.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
At the beginning.
Yeah,
It was with some famous stripper. So this is like early 2000s, I think. So he had to go to like J.C. Penney's or the mall. He said the mall. I went to the mall, got some a photo shoot done, sent him into this place, and they were like, "Hey,"
hired right away.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, do you want? We got a gig this weekend. It's with some famous stripper, and there's going to be 10,000 women there."
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where's this at?
I think it must have been Oakland because that's where he's from.
Oh, okay.
Northern
Oh,
California.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
When I think club, I think guys, but we have a club where it's girls, but it's usually those are like special occasions or like once a week.
Yeah.
A club like all the time, it doesn't exist, unless it's for men,
Yeah. What about Vegas?
Vegas, it's usually like a couple nights a week. I think there is some like hustlers that have every night.
Yeah.
But they have like a male section and a female section. So it's like split 50-50.
Right.
Which is cool because like if you go with your chick, right, you can go on one side and she can go on the other, vice versa.
Yep. And then hopefully you're getting some that night.
Hopefully.
She's the only one.
God, normally those nights always end up in fights for me.
They do?
Yeah.
So you've done that before?
Well, yeah.
Does Maren know about this?
Now she does. She knows I've never said no. She knows me.
What about all the, because it's not clubs where a lot of the women go in Vegas though. It's not the clubs. They go to like Chippendales.
Yeah, the Rhino Bar or whatever.
What are the new ones? The new ones out. Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Magic Mike Live.
Magic Mike Live is probably the most popular one.
Yeah.
Thunder from Down Under. How do I know all the names?
I don't know. This is what's weird, bro. This is your extra life.
Isn't that what Cali Muscle said? He was like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? How do you know this shit?
You've researched.
Yeah.
No.
Either I've been or I danced.
Yeah.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah. But I will never divulge.
No, you will not.
Because if I've been, that's weird. And if I danced, it's okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually applied. Well, I had a girlfriend apply for me to the Thunder Down Under, but they told her it was like you have to be from Australia.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you have to be Australian.
And you had to like show a passport or something to prove it, or you couldn't just go in and be like, I don't know can you do an Australian accent?
No. I'm not even gonna try it.
What a random. Mark that. For sure.
I got a kangaroo in my belly. I don't know what the fuck.
Bro, can you speak Chinese? That was hilarious. See, that's the dry humor. I love it. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I was gonna move to Vegas, so I had her like calling up, seeing if if there was any places that I could go to, and there was like a couple, but yeah, that one specifically was like, nah, you got to be Australian. So I was actually moving out there, and then I was driving and I was texting her, and I got into an accident on the freeway while texting, and then I ended up having to like live with this woman over here who's like kind of like a sugar mama. I was gonna bounce on her and go back to my ex out in Vegas, and yeah, I got stuck in Cali. Once I crashed the car, I had to get like a car in her name, and I was like, sorry, I'm not coming anymore.
It's good to be young like that. Those free decisions, no baggage, no luggage, just nothing. That's nice. I miss it.
You do.
A little bit. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. It's too much for
really?
me.
Well, I don't mean at this age. I mean, if we were 30 again.
I wasn't good at it because I'm so like sensitive that and anytime I would get like just even like try to be player status, right? I'd be like get a girl to come over and Netflix and chill by telling her lies, and I wasn't really lying. It's just that like when a guy hasn't had sex in a few weeks or a few months, we start really thinking we like this person.
You're shopping for wedding rings and shit.
And then this is how my dating life went for just a short period of time when I was single. And then I would, next thing you know, I'd convince the girl to come over and we would have sex, and I was like, well, why did I do that?
What are you still doing here?
Why did I do that?
God. Yeah.
I'm not good at that.
You're not good at that, eh?
No.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
You're sensitive.
It's always been a married life for me. I've been either in long-term relationships or married almost my whole adult life. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 22 when that happened. Now I'm 31. I prefer it
Still
a little more
youngster,
calm
huh?
now.
Yeah, 31. Damn.
31, but
if there was an age to go back to, what would that be?
I'll tell you, bro, 30 was pretty fucking awesome.
Like your 30s?
30.
his eyes are
like 29,
lit up
30.
saying that.
Just,
Like, really, right?
Yeah.
He was probably living his best. I mean, I don't want to say that because I like saying my best life is now, but
It was great. It was great. It was all today's great. Then was great. It was just great. Yeah, 30s were great. But late 30s was when I started smoking crack. 37, 38. So that was no good. But yeah, early 30s were fucking amazing.
Remember the womp womps?
Oh fuck! God, passed through it a few
that
times
from-
on the chair.
is that from crack?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes your ears go womp, womp,
Yeah,
womp.
that-
Don't ask me how I know.
Those are the good ones.
Meth does the same thing when you stick it in your veins intravenously.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Like even 10 times worse, I
Yeah,
think, than crack.
that's what I heard. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really.
And then and the first time it's like crack. You know how you get the first one,
Yeah.
the very first time, and you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was turning off water. I thought all this, the TV, everything was like, I was like, what's going on? And it was just wah. And I was like, finally, I was like, oh, I'm high as fuck.
Yeah,
right
right.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I chased that for years.
$1 million later.
Years until I had to retire from the CIA.
Yeah.
They never knew you were working for them, right?
But they don't. No, it was off books. everything I did for the CIA.
Yeah.
was
What,
off
what was that movie where the guy was schizophrenic and he was like thought he was working for the CIA? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
He was
that was a great
schizophrenic. I was just on meth.
Yeah.
There's not much of a difference, right?
No, there's not. And it was like every time they wanted me back to do missions for them, a bag of meth would show up at my house. You know,
That was
it
your
like-
payment, right?
Yeah, that was like. You know what's funny though? Is like a lot of guests come on and just people in general. If you go look at one of our ones that went kind of viral, I was talking to Bob Menery about
Yeah.
working for the CIA.
Yeah.
And like the comments are all, I knew people did drugs like that and worked for law enforcement.
Yeah, you know.
And I'm like,
Fucking freaks.
yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
But it's like
Crazy.
in the
taking
thing,
it verbatim.
I'm telling people though, like I'm
You
saying,
dive into the phone.
I could. The reason why the CIA wanted me and why I was so heavily recruited is because I'm one of the only guys that if you put enough methamphetamines in your veins, I can literally jump into the iPhone and become a digital person.
They didn't question.
Right?
They didn't question that at all. That they believed.
Yeah.
They were upset about
They
the
were
drug use.
upset about my drug use and working for the government.
High,
Like,
working high.
I can't believe you
were
would.
working high.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew that the CIA did stuff like that. Law enforcement are always on drugs. Those comments I just leave because I want them to. I don't know.
Those are the conspiracy sheeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different from a theorist.
Yeah.
I'm a theorist.
Yeah, I'm a theorist for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's so many. You look at our fucking world right now. You know, our country, our world.
I like
it's
to replace that
insanity.
word with facts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up right now.
Well, this isn't a political podcast.
No,
so
no,
I
you're
won't
right.
go on to
You're
it.
right. You're right.
I could,
You're right. We
I
were
could
about
go.
to
We
We
could
were
do
about
a
to go
whole
left
other.
or right or which way. I don't know.
I like to go down the middle.
Yeah, we're
So
safest there.
tell us a little bit about what your life.
Yeah, bro.
We don't know anything except for that you may or may not have been a stripper.
Yeah, so Billy Rock is what I'm known as. Name is Douglas by government. And 31 years old. Retired from stripping officially on May 17th, which was the date that I got sober.
Of 2023.
2023.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
just retired.
Yeah, because it had to go hand in hand with the
Lifestyle.
the
Yeah,
lifestyle.
man.
Exactly. I had wanted to retire for since like 2020, and I was doing it more seldom than not. I had like an assistant. She was like covering the phones, and I could have easily gone out because I had her. But I rather, she got off at like 10 o'clock at night. I would rather stay on after 10 till like 2, 3 in the morning, answering the calls, making, 150, 200 per call, get like 4 or 5 of those versus being out there driving drunk, doing dumb shit, and, putting, people in danger and things like that. So I started having realizations of that. And I really wanted to get off of Suboxone is what I was really on, right? It wasn't really partying these last couple of years too much. I would go out with like friends time to time when I felt like, okay, I need to get out. I'm working too much. But I was really trying to escape like the rat race, trying to escape the matrix, so to speak, right? So I was like working, 12, 16 hours a day, just, building automation, trying to make, trying to use this AI stuff. Before it was even really released, they had, instead of like Chat GPT, it was open AI, and they had, access to that, and you could do it through API. So I was like trying to program it before and do all these things. And, you always run into brick walls in this industry because it's adult entertainment. So eventually everything kind of gets taken away, right? Like automated texting, because they came up with this adult blocker. And then, credit cards, Yelp, Google, it all eventually gets taken away. But, you always find a way around. And anyway, I was trying to basically just make as much money as I could, put it all into crypto, and just turn it into like a million is what my thing was, right? Is what I wanted, right? So I put like 130 grand in there, and I was just working my face off trying to get out, right? So I wasn't wanting to strip. I wanted to get sober. I knew what I wanted to do, and that was my goal. So I was trying to hit it fast because I saw it was going crazy, right? So I was like, oh man, I missed the boat. Let me catch the end of it, kind of thing. I can 10x my money. So I put like 130 grand into it, like that I had worked for. And, it took me a couple years to save that and working like crazy hours. And basically, I lost it all. Like it turned into like, a little over double and like 250 something. And then pretty much it went down to nothing. I sold it for like 20 grand, So it hurt a lot. But basically, yeah, I've to get back on point, I've been trying to get out of it for a few years, but officially retired when I got sober. And I just eventually did it. It wasn't like I figured out the timing was never going to be perfect. Matter of fact, I didn't have my assistant's help and things like that when I actually did get sober. But business is not what it used to be because people don't really have that kind of money right now. The average Joe is our typical customer because if you think about it, who's going to hire the really hot girls on Instagram and stuff? It's going to be like, they have like concierge services for rich people, and they just have these, these people that go on Instagram and they find all these different models and then they just hire them directly. But for the average Joe, he's going to call up on Google and find a stripping company and be like, okay, we want to get some strippers, usually last minute, right? So that's how we make business. And, obviously the average Joe is the person that's hurting right now. So it's gone down a lot. So I was like, I got to make some really big changes because I want to even convert my entire career. But like keep this because I put 10 years, almost 10 years into it. Trial and error, heartache after heartache, from, getting injured, I've herniated my disc in my back doing this. I've blown out my knee, this multiple times, what I'm saying, which really hurts, gone into deep depressions, doing drugs and alcohol, kind of just, fake, put a mask on to the world kind of thing. And I look at all the pain and sorrow that came from it. And then the one time I really came up, like I gambled it away. So I was like, I had to really take a big look at this and be like, whoa, like I literally gave my health away. I gave my mind away, my soul, my body. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of things, and what do I have to show for it? Like I had the best Yelp in America, right? I had 300 5-star reviews. No other stripping company had that. Boom, they took it. 2018. Then I created, 2019, I said, fuck it, let's do this again. I created Google reviews on Google local listings. Yeah. And I got over 500 by 2021. October 2021, some competitors, they kept going on there, reporting it. They got that taken down. I try to get it back, but it's really hard if you don't have a location, a physical location, and if you're adult entertainment, it's like almost impossible to get it back once it gets marked as like some, like I forgot exactly how they marked it, but
rated R or whatever.
Yeah, but they put like possible spam or something like that, right? Yeah. I get a lot of reviews really fast because I came up with a really good system where I'd have the dancers have a business card, they'd have a QR code on it, the girls would all scan it, they'd write a review right on the spot, so like 5 would pop up 5 times a night, from each dancer, So really cranking them out. In 2 years, we got over 500. You know.
Yeah, that's really good.
That is really good. So I was confused. So he's just not a dancer. He controlled it. He had guys working for him.
Still do. That's how I pay my bills.
That's nice, man. That's cool.
Girls,
good
guys.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's it's a lot. Go ahead.
Fucking pimp right here.
I guess you could call it that.
I'm just saying. In Canada, you'd be called a pimp. You know.
I have a Canadian friend.
Oh,
That's what he calls me.
There. Yeah. You see. There we go.
Is it legal in Canada?
No.
Huh?
No.
To have
Stripping
a-
is.
Stripping is?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's what
stripping
I
is
am.
legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
Stripping is
You have
legal
people.
here.
Yeah, and you have people that control the strippers.
Escorts are legal here.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, as long as you don't have sex.
Oh, okay. I
You
don't
can-
have
you can-
escorts.
you
Just
can-
strippers.
You can
Yeah.
pay. You can pay.
Cuddling is legal. They got cuddlers.
It's like a fine line, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I'd be.
There's a
Do you
thing.
imagine if some girl was leaving your house and your wife's like, "Who's that?" "Oh, babe, we're just cuddling." Babe, don't worry. It was all $100, babe. Don't worry about it.
It was
Don't worry about it.
Billy. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it was Bill. He's just got a nice ass as he's walking away. Don't worry.
That's funny. But yeah, so basically, I'm thinking of different ways to kind of move forward after it, but I'm still expanding it to it's nationwide, and I'm gonna continue to make money from it. But I'm gonna build something else. I have a lot of work to do first, but then once I'm done, I'm thinking to like gear towards like fitness content, and possibly help people get in shape, and then do that online, like make programs, because I've literally healed my back injuries all on my own without like any kind of therapy or anything like that. So I'm thinking to do things like that, and to make actual videos for it, because I haven't seen anybody really have that kind of content. Like there's tons of people doing the online
coaching.
fitness, coaching, all that,
The
but
coaching.
Yeah.
but I'm talking like taking how many men and women have lower back issues
Yeah.
in America, right?
Everybody.
I mean, in the world, really,
Everybody.
right? Everybody. So, I don't have like the solution to like heal it like permanently, but I can help get it super strong to where if you follow what I do, you will very likely never injure it. And when you do, you'll be able to get it back really fast, through the things that I do, right? So that's kind of like something I have in mind. But again, I'm going to be expanding this. It's going to take some time, but I'm just going to like learn from all my mistakes. Don't try to get reviews anymore. Only push organic Google SEO, and and actually like hire people once everything's like together, right? Because I've learned how to do everything on my own. So I built the website myself. I did all the SEO. I did all the automation. And one thing I learned is like when I had all that money, I could have been paying people to do those things, but instead I was working 12, 16 hours a day, but I was like lit on Suboxone and Adderall and Xanax to bring me back down.
Everyone goes
That
back
seems-
to the Xannies.
It kind
right?
of seems like that's the adult entertainment industry
Yeah.
combo right there. I don't know about the Suboxone nuts, but
Well, it's Norcos before that.
yeah, Norcos.
Norcos and put them in the Red Bull. That started in construction, though. I used to be in construction before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where the injuries kind of started. But I know I'm kind of all over the place.
No, man, it's good.
Um,
Kidding me? You're an entrepreneur. I didn't realize when you were coming in. I thought,
I mean,
here comes
my
another
brain.
dancer.
Oh no, I feel like you're doing good.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're great.
Yeah, well, because I'm sober like 63 days from Suboxone,
Yeah.
and I still get like withdrawals and shit. So,
Oh yeah.
so it's pretty fucked up,
So what is Suboxone? Is that the last drug that you were doing, or did you quit all of them 63 days ago?
I quit everything 63 days ago, cold turkey.
No. Wow.
So went through it pretty rough. I was
Yeah.
shitting on myself on like day 12. Went to
Yeah,
a magic
sucks.
house with him and almost didn't go because I like had an accident that day and was like goosebumps and everything. And so things started getting better after like week 3, week 4. But to this day, like sleeping's an issue. I sneeze all the time. Never used to sneeze before. Never had allergies or anything like that. Right. Still my system's not regulated. Still get like little cold chills, little shakiness. But I was on it for opiates for 12 years, pretty much nonstop. Suboxone, I hadn't skipped a day of a dose since 2019. 2019 was the last time I made an attempt. But this time I really realized that I had to go all in, because I used to fool myself and be like, oh, because I wasn't, slamming heroin, because I was only doing painkillers, and because, I could I was addicted to opiates. You can't stop taking them, right? You get sick. But because I could not drink at times, and I could only drink at the shows, or sometimes I could control it, and sometimes I wouldn't, and I'd be drinking and driving, doing dumb shit, and crashing cars, things like that, right? So it's like, finally I had to understand, like, no, you can't strip, you can't put yourself around that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, because yes, I've done it before. I could go like 2 weeks stripping sober, and coming off of opiates. I've done it. I've tried many times, and I got a week or two in, and I'm like literally like losing myself like in the bathroom, and coming out and just kicking ass and doing it, and like full of goosebumps. But then I realized that, like, no, you have a strong discipline. You do, but it's very easy for you to give in. You could be in a certain mood and you just give in. Once you give in, it's a matter of time before you're back taking the opiates again, because what you do is you drink. And once you drink, you have a bad back and you forget, but your knees messed up and you forget that when you're drunk. And then you want to pick up the big girls, and you want to, make the hot girl like be like, oh, why doesn't he pick me up? No, I'll get the big old mama, what I'm saying? Try to impress. And then the next day, my back's hurting, and I know it's going to hurt subconsciously. So when I stop by the blow man's house on the way home, I not only do I get the blow to keep me awake, but I grab the painkillers for the next day, and then I grab the Xanax knowing that, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping. And then I grab some Adderall to wake me back up for the next day so I can go back to the shows. Shit. It's the one-stop pit shop, So I had to realize, like, all that shit had to stop in order for me to really do it. And this is the longest that I've ever been sober in my life, since I was in juvenile hall. I mean, my juvenile hall was the only time I was really sober. I was smoking weed. Other than that, since like my dad died when I was 13, it was like, been nonstop something, at least weed for sure. Yeah. I remember like my 14th birthday, my mom put like an ounce of weed under my pillow for me. That's how long I've been doing something. You know what I mean? And it's just like a big realization that I had to come to, that I can't. I have to be all in. I'm a kind of dude that goes all in or not at all. I don't really half-ass,
Yeah.
So I think that's why, like, I try to do everything on my own, try to program and learn all these different things. Like, I have a million skills that I can do, right? Like, I'm a handyman. Like, I have all these tools. Like, I can hang TVs and pictures and, fix things. And, I did electrical. I did steel stud framing, drywall. And then it's like, okay, and then now I'm a computer dude. I can edit videos. I have this station that looks like the Matrix, like the setup, and I can build like scripts that for trading. Not that I'm profitable trading, but I can make scripts I can program them. I can work really well with AI. I can build automations. I can build websites. It's like, at what point, video editing, but at what point, like, do you have all the time for that shit? You jack of all trades, you're all over the place. You know what I mean? And I thought that would go away with sobriety, but I'm still all over the fucking place.
It's only 60 days, bro.
60 days, yeah. Yeah, and I know it takes at least like 3 months.
It takes time too, though, because like even like, I go back to the beginning of me building my very first business, which was called, it's still called it Hope by the Sea. It was a drug and alcohol treatment center, and I had to do everything. I mean, I didn't build my own website, but my brother had a company that built the website. I managed all of the SEO and pay-per-click advertising for years before I found the right people to do it for me. But now, like, even with this podcast, it's like, I have to have an engineer and a videographer and a editor and another editor on staff, plus a social media person,
co-host.
I have to have a co-host. Although I've done a couple of podcasts.
Oh, fuck yeah. Continue on there. Yeah. So what else, Billy?
Well, you know what?
He said a few without me, so he was about to start talking. I'm expendable.
Well, do you see this?
I don't want any part
logo?
of this.
This logo right here. It can be one of two things.
Here we go.
It can be here. Yeah. It can be me. And him with his beard.
Yeah.
Or if he pisses me off, what can it be?
Just you.
It can be just me.
Just him. This is what I live through, Billy, on a daily fucking basis.
No, this is the first
And
time.
I'm here early and I stay late, baby.
Yeah.
Because I love abuse.
Oh
Yeah.
And I love to abuse.
Oh, yeah.
So it's perfect.
Oh, it's
great.
perfect
It's a great
relationship.
relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Is this gonna be like the movie Hostel, where they come out with the whips and chains and like trying to give me, you guys
I haven't quite got Chad there yet. He's still pretty shy, Billy. You know, I'm working on him,
I
though.
don't take my clothes off.
No, he doesn't.
He's just trying to get me to do a cold plunge.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to do a cold plunge.
And video it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not taking my shirt off.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he will.
That sounds fun.
Which
see?
part? The taking the shirt
Sure,
off?
All of it. All of it.
My nipples got hard.
Yeah, baby. There we go. You see, Billy's
Thinking
in.
about the cold water, I mean, it's like, woo.
Yeah.
Have you done a cold plunge before?
Yeah. I would do ice baths. Like, I was doing a lot of that stuff on TikTok Live.
Yeah.
And then, you know what's so funny? It's everything gets taken when you're in the stripping business. I realized that, like, you almost have to completely separate from it, because I had answered a couple business calls on TikTok Live, and it was like permanently banned. Sexual solicitation.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I tried to get it back. I was like in an agency.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, they're not lenient on that at all. And I think it's because, you know, human trafficking is such a big thing right now, right?
Which it's kind
would
of
never
funny
do
because
anything like that,
I feel like, you know, it's a China-owned company.
Right.
Why are they so gosh darn strict?
Yeah.
I mean, especially for the Americans. I'm sure that I'm surprised they don't just let us do whatever they want on TikTok. But who knows?
You want to put the Chinese?
Huh? I don't want to.
We don't want to get it.
I don't want any part of that.
No, neither do I.
Like, we suck on TikTok.
Yeah.
We're building on Instagram, but like, that's we're too old.
Yeah.
We don't even know how the app works.
Don't have a clue.
You got to put a hook. It's all about the hook on TikTok.
It's like the shit that goes viral on TikTok. I'm like, that's the stupidest
Retarded
fucking
shit.
retardest,
Yeah.
ugly, unprofessional looking post I've ever seen him. Or they're probably not called posts. What are they called? TikToks?
TikToks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you could also get good shit, like quality stuff to go viral too, but it's got to be a good hook. Like my video of like me talking about like my dad dying with Fausto. I had to put the right hook in the beginning for it to go viral. And it's like, and then I pulled the trigger, and then people are like, whoa, what do you mean you pulled the trigger? And then they watch it. You know? And it had to have like the music and everything. So it's got to be a hook. It's got to catch them, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's all about the engagement, right? So it's like, if you don't have that hook, like I have a couple of retarded videos that did really well too.
My most the video that has the most views on Instagram is like, to me, I'm just like, this is what went. Like, it's this girl. It was one of our first podcasts, and she's sitting here. He cut the reel, and she says, "My mom did it for me. She completely cut me off." It's got like 1.5 million views.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? So now it's like ingrained in my head because I see it every day, and I go by and I see her every day, and I walk by and I'm like, "Hey, Taryn."
You're at $1.5 million.
I'm like, no, I say, "My mom did it for me too. She completely cut me off." She's like over me, dude.
Yeah, right?
Like, but like, how does something like that get all that many views?
Yeah, woman in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like,
Yeah, I saw that.
you know what's funny about like our followers on Instagram are 73% women. Women don't engage as much as men do. So we have you know,
They want the engagement. They want the attention, right?
yeah, I don't know that we need the attention. We don't need as much attention because our we get a lot of messages. Like I feel like women and moms, they ask us questions through privately.
Got it.
More so than, you know, going on and being like, "Hey, Shane and Chad, icked with 4 T's." Right?
Yeah.
That's my Instagram handle. Chad icked with 4 T's.
I just let him dry up there. I figured I'm going to let him flop on the beach a little bit. That's what I did. See,
You got to put him back in the ocean.
I just got him back.
You know,
bro. He wants to mention the fucking the co stuff. I'm going to let him flip around the. I'm sorry. What was that?
Sometimes I'll totally like be on point with something, and I'll like go off on a tangent to get back to my point, and then I'm like, "Fuck, I can't remember what I was saying." And then I'm like, "What was that? What was my whole point?" And he'll be like, Don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, don't know.
It's nice to see you guys doing that because it makes me feel better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we fuck up.
I'm like,
all the time.
Left and right.
It's normal.
Yeah.
I like, and we don't edit the podcast, just reels and stuff. But like, I love the fact that sometimes, like, I've gone back and been watching the podcast, and I was like, Chad, your point was, because I'm watching it and I never got back to the point.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like on the treadmill yelling at myself.
Fuck, it's so good. Just let the people know.
Because I do have to go back and watch these, because when we leave, I won't remember anything that was said.
Blank.
I'll be like, what just happened?
Yeah. It's a blank out.
Yeah.
You got good long term, not short term.
Short term's fucked.
Yeah.
Done.
I think it's like our devices and this like whole like way everything is presented to us right now.
Yeah.
Because that's where reels and TikToks they come in, right? So it's like shorter videos, shorter attention spans. I think it really affects us,
That's true.
Before social media, did you notice a difference in your attention span?
Don't know.
He's like, that was back when the dinosaurs were around. No, I was kidding.
It's true, bro. It's fucking this guy. Did you hear what he just said to you? He called you fucking old. He called you a dinosaur, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when he says
I packaged it nicer, bro. What the fuck?
No, you really did.
He's 31 years old.
31. I have a daughter older than that.
You know what? Thank God for all the injuries, which is weird to say, right?
Yeah.
But it matured me way faster because if I didn't get hurt so bad and so fucked up on like painkillers and all that stuff because of it, I would probably still be stripping, because I got a buddy, he's still doing it, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm young, 32, and
Shit.
I know there's a guy in his 50s doing
Really?
it. He looks good at least, but like I thank God, because that lifestyle it's very dangerous.
50's a little old to be stripping.
I mean,
Because
bro's close to 60.
Really?
Yeah.
He looks good. I mean,
There's guys in my gym that are, in their 50s that look better than half of the people in their 20s.
Yeah, I mean, you take care of yourself as you get older if you're into that stuff. You know what I mean? As you age, you start taking care of yourself better. Like I take care of myself way better right now than I did in my 20s for sure. I'm grateful to be, where I'm at right now, even with all the fucking heartache and everything and like financial loss, all that stuff, because now it's like, and I'm only 60 something days sober, right? Like 62, but it's like I'm finding like a place of peace, and learning what I really like and what I want versus like pleasing everybody else. I'm still doing it a bit, but I'm starting to like notice them and to get over that hump, and it feels good. It feels really good. And to not be constantly like chasing something, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure, I'm chasing a pump in the gym and there's always something I'm going to be chasing, but it feels so much better.
Yeah.
That makes sense,
Just that lifestyle, bro.
Yeah.
Just to up late,
yeah.
to bed.
Well, do you still have to stay up late?
I do on the weekends. And like I'm trying to get to bed earlier because I'm doing day trading right now, and I got to wake up at 5:30 to be ready at 6:30.
Right.
But before I would always overcomplicate everything. Like I'll build this script with all these different indicators, and a lot of it would be like, okay, if you're about to be at the range daily high, like price could reverse from there. Oh, but you're at VWAP, and but the 200 EMA, and it's like I had a buddy, and I didn't finally listen to him until I got like sober and my mind's been getting a little more clear. He's like, why don't you just do what I do, which is take one trade a day that wins about 68% of the time and do a 1-for-1. It's going to be a lot more healthy on your mind. You just have to wake up at, early enough for the market open, and you win a contract or you lose a contract, $500 on NASDAQ. And it's like you make 500 or you lose 500. But at the end of the week, 68%, if you trade for, let's say you skip Fridays are weird. And you skip let's just say a news day. So like you got 3 days out of the week. So if you win 2 and you lose 1, you're at $500, right? $500 profit. So it's like, why not just do that? It's a lot less mental health stress and things like that. And it's much more simple. And I just started it Thursday. So I got 3 trading days and I've exactly done that. 1, 2, lost 1. But it's a funded account, so it's like I'm applying for a funded account right now, so it's not costing me a bunch of money. It's like $30 versus putting up all this capital and losing it and going through that heartache. Paid, I got like a July 4th special. It's like $16 or something like that for a 50K account, right? And you got to achieve $3,000 profit. Once you do, then you get a real account, and it's a $50,000 account. But it's weird how this works, because if you lose 2,500, then the account's blown. So basically 2,500. And then what you do is like you take the profits, and then as you make the profits, you put like half in the bank, and then you buy with the other half, you buy more accounts. And before, it's like I was always like, maybe it's pride, I don't know what it was, but it's like always trying to figure out on my own. Oh, I can outsmart the market. Like I have this brain that thinks like outside the box, and I can do all these things. So it's like I'm gonna build this strategy that's based off of like how I feel and And it's like trading is like, I look at it as like gambling now. And a lot of people would disagree with that, but the reason I say that is because it's like the casino, but being the house at the casino.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out like an edge, right, and you can define that edge, and you can go back in time and create a certain percentage of wins and losses, right, and in a certain ratio that you stick to, and you let the odds play out, like kind of like counting cards, then you're going to win that percentage for the most part. And once it stops working, then you figure out something else, you back test it, and then you go, and you just keep it simple.
So what if you did that system that you were talking about right there, but you did it with
100K or 250K.
500K.
500K.
Well, so that's the thing, is like to get there, right? So you start small, you win this account, or you get funded, you get your first profit, and then you buy more accounts, and then you get those funded, and then you copy the trades, and then you just keep on building and building it until you, like my friend who's doing pretty well. He made like 200 grand last month doing it. So
yeah.
It's kind of like what you said when you do your pay-per-click. You have to spend the $500,000 at 400,000. You might only get half your meat, but the last 100 grand picks up the other half just magically.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because the odds play out in that too.
Playing the pay-per-click game with Google and drug and alcohol treatment, you could spend $10,000 in a day and get nothing, and then your next 10,000 could bring you $5, and then your next 20,000 could bring you nothing, and then the next 50,000 brings you 50. I mean, shit like that happens. Like your phones could be ringing off the hook like crazy, or they could be. And at the thing with, but it's a little bit different. Well, maybe it's similar, but everything with addiction treatment, it becomes a snowball. So if you're working on 10 clients that turn into 50 clients that you're working on, well, maybe only 4 of these came in, but those other ones aren't lost. They're still. They probably just got high and are out on a run again. And eventually, people that are working with you, you start to have so many that all of a sudden, like, 10 will drop in a day.
Yeah.
And that's like with what we do, we have 200 beds, and, we can get 10 admits in a day. It's not even
Detox?
Detox RTC. Yeah, Detox. I mean, everybody comes into our facility detoxing like 95%. Hardly any ever does somebody come into our facilities not detoxing, straight into RTC. We do have 2 mental health facilities, so some people do come in with just mental health primary.
Yeah, I did Detox in 2019. It was Pomona, funded by Medi-Cal.
Yeah,
and it was very gross. I was going to go for 12 days, and I remember I asked, well, how soon can I get out of here with like a paper that says I graduated and not be on bad terms?
We have all kinds of people like that.
They're like, for Suboxone, it's 5 days. And I was like, on the 5th day, I remember sitting there lying to the doctor. Yeah, I feel great, and it's not, I didn't want to go get high. I just wanted to get out of there because it's so disgusting. I remember this guy's eating out of the peanut butter.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this big thing of peanut butter, right? And he's just like, and I'm like, oh, that's fucked up, And then this other guy, he goes to make a peanut butter sandwich. I'm like, hey, bro, you don't want to trust me.
He doesn't care.
You don't want to go.
Yeah.
You are, I'm like, you don't want to go in there. This dude, he was like, and he's like, bro, I was slamming fentanyl on the street, sharing needles. I don't give a fuck. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. you know what I mean? And then my roommate, he was like a homeless dude outside, and he was like in a wheelchair, so he's like shitting all over the toilet and stuff. I felt bad for bro, but like, dude, I'm not trying to clean up his shit. And
yeah, no, that's not here because we are all private insurances.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it's a big difference,
But it's not to say that that type of stuff doesn't happen, it's still communal housing, and I'm sure our jars of peanut butter though aren't that big.
Yeah.
So they're just
It's like
your
the big county.
Yeah,
one,
your
you know?
standard jar. So like if somebody does that and somebody complains, then we're unfortunately going and getting another jar of peanut butter.
Yeah. This one reminded me of like being in juvenile hall, because, you know, it was like you walked in a line to go get your meals, and, you know, you came back and the meals were like, you know, just in the same county portions, you know.
Yeah.
So
Which is kind of like, you know, we're not, that's the other part of this Hopeaholics Recover Out Loud movement, is like, that's not fair. It's not fair that, especially like it's not fair that because I have amazing insurance, right, I can go to the amazing place. But what about the people that don't have any insurance and are fucking shooting fentanyl on the streets and they can't get in anywhere? Mm-hmm. Because in California, it's like, you want a bed? Call us tomorrow at 8 a.m. and we'll see if we have a bed. You call tomorrow. You might be able to do it like 2 days in a row, and then by then you're just like, fuck it, man. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Or
it took me a while to get in.
Yeah.
I remember
it shouldn't be like
it was
like
hard.
that. It's like that for our veterans. You think that's fair for our veterans who went and like let us live like this?
No, we should have like, I think we were messaging about that, right? About yeah. I think it should be a whole month, right? Somebody actually DM'd me when I put that on my story, and they were like, "Oh, there is a whole month. It's May," and I was like, "I've never heard of that." You know, like we should have a parade with soldiers and Marines and, you know, every kind of veteran you can think, or even active duty. You know, we should have tanks rolling down the street, and we should be celebrating just like we do with Pride. You know?
Yeah.
I think if anything, it should be longer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unfair.
Because that is how
it's all unfair.
That's how we have.
We don't want to take anything away from anyone else.
What does
We just want.
say? It's life's unfair.
Life's unfair.
Yeah.
It really. But is it? But it's like it's not wrong for us to fight for our veterans, because they've given up. A lot of them give up because the system is so broken for them, and they're just trying to get help. You know, and you know, they might get like if they're service connected, they get paid every month. But like that homeless guy that we ran into,
he's $3,500 a month. Or
yeah, he gets $3,500 a month, and he lives on the streets.
Yeah.
He lives
He's 100% disabled.
Yeah,
this guy was 80 or something.
80%, 3,500.
My buddy's 100%, and he gets like 38. I think.
38.
And you know, he had his whole head reconstructed in the back and everything. And 3,800, you know, he has to work full time still.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because
it's not enough.
That's his rent. You know, because he has a house, he has kids.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not enough.
Yeah, it's rough out here. You know, so I think, you know, we're sending billions of dollars in aid, but we can't take care of our homes. You know?
Yeah, it's a whole podcast.
Fuck yeah, it is.
It's a whole podcast.
Billy, you know what? I want to ask you something, bro. You just nonchalantly just wrote back and said at your 13th birthday, your mother put a bag of weed under your bed.
14th.
I mean, that's just not normal.
No.
You know?
Did your mom smoke weed?
No, she's never really been much of a smoker. She was mostly on pills when I was growing up. I love my mom very much, but, you know, growing up was it was pretty rough. You know, I had it made when I was living with my dad before he passed away. He was on pills and, you know, real messed up on methadone and Oxycontin and, you know, anything he could get his hands on that was an opiate. He owned a bar, and before we owned the bar, he was a car salesman, and he did really well in that. But he was commission based for this place called Thorson Motors, Ford Lincoln Mercury in Wisconsin, and then they sold to Sandali, and Sandali wanted to put him on like a salary pay no matter what he sold and stuff, and he was like a pretty ambitious dude, so he's like, fuck this. And my grandpa was like, well, you know, I'll give you your or I think I don't know exactly how it went down, but my dad got his inheritance early from his dad, and he put it into a bar, but he's, you know, an alcoholic, drug addict, you know, so it's like not the best thing to do. And he just drank himself and took pills to death. And, you know,
Is that how he died?
Yeah, and I was spoiled shit, man. I had an office, I had my own room, you know, we had multiple bathrooms, we lived above a bar. used to call downstairs and I get
food,
cheeseburgers
yeah,
brought up to me. But he would always.
Damn, that was the life right there.
Man.
Though, at like 13,
yeah,
12,
bro.
11.
Can you imagine?
That's how I got good at computers, because I would be on a computer. At that time, I started my first business. It was get paid to do surveys. I don't know if you remember when that was real popular, but like all the stay-at-home soccer moms, things like that, housewives, they would fill out surveys, and then Google would pay the companies a certain percentage or a certain amount, and then you would give 50% to the soccer moms and everybody that's doing it, some stay-at-home dads, whatever, and then the company would get 50%, and it became a big thing. And there wasn't that many people on the internet back then, so it wasn't like competition was like way less, because nobody, everybody's not telling about it. You can find it on a forum on Reddit, but that was about it. Not a lot of people were onto that. Nowadays it's like, people are on shit, but anyway, I worked for this company called GoBubble. I would design web templates for their clients. I would get paid $75. It'd take me about 2 hours. I was 13, and I would just have checks delivered from PayPal, and I would just send them to my dad because he gave me everything I wanted. So I was like, I don't need this money, he was like, how the hell are you getting checks into the house? And he's like, what are you up to,
That's fucking really nice.
You know who invented PayPal, right?
Who?
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's how he made all his money.
That's the real genius.
He sold PayPal,
Yeah.
and then he made his real money. But he made a lot of money from PayPal.
I bet. Yeah, it's a big company, first really big merchant. I mean, to be on the internet.
Yeah, first one, right?
Yep.
First really, I mean, it's
real,
the one that everybody knows.
Merchant,
Right? It's the one that everybody knows.
Yep.
I mean, people still use it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big service.
I think my 14-year-old daughter got scammed and sent somebody $28 on PayPal yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
You get that back.
And now she's pissed. Really?
Get it back. Yeah. Just report it and get the money back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, PayPal is.
I'll tell my wife.
Yeah, it'd be easy. You just write you just call them, or probably now you can't call. You got to type up a little ticket and just say exactly what happened.
Yeah, can't call anybody anymore.
No,
I hate that. Yeah, sucks.
So your dad dies. How old were you?
I was 13.
Yeah.
And I remember that night because I was working on a template for my own GPT, get paid to do survey website. It was called Pocket Cash GPT. You can still see it on the Wayback Machine on the internet. And crazy quick little intervene. The lady that I sold it to for $100, she ended up making millions of dollars, but not through my site, but through hers. Because I'll get into what happened, but basically when my dad passed, I was designing a template, and I could, it was his birthday. He was still partying like a week later, so about a week after his birthday, and I could hear him stumbling up the stairs, and this was like a regular thing, I was like, okay, like I want to deal with this, and then it was like a little more than usual. So I went and I helped him up the stairs, and I laid him down on the bed, and then I put a fan on him and stuff, and he was like trying to talk to me, but he was like sweating and shit. So I was like, whatever, he's just drunk. Went back to the computer, and I was listening for his snoring, and I go back and check on him, or I heard a thump, and then he fell on the floor. So I went back and I put a blanket on him, put a fan, and then came back, and then I didn't hear the snoring. I was like, fuck, how long was he not snoring for? It must have been like 30-40 minutes. I was like, oh my God, like this website was more important than my dad, So I remember I went back down the hall, and he's the blanket's off of him and the sweat is dried up and the fan's on him. He's not breathing. He's purple. His lips, they don't have life in them. They're just, it's hard to describe. It's just dead.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And I was like, what the fuck, and I ran to the phone. I called my mom in California, but she never would have her phone on her, so went to voicemail, and I left this voicemail. I was like, Mom, Dad's dead, and I heard some footsteps walking down the hallway, and I was like, oh, thank God, biggest sigh of relief. I was like, I think he's okay, and I hung up, and I walked down the hall, or went out the kitchen to the hallway, and it's Brian. He's the bartender, and he drops the cash register, and like all the change goes flying out and everything, and he just looks like a ghost because he can see me, and I'm like, I just start belligerently screaming, crying, and I'm like, Dad's dead, and he runs in there, and He's trying to give him chest compressions and stuff. He breaks his rib cage trying, and couldn't bring him back. And we're in the backwoods of Wisconsin, so it took forever for the ambulance to get there, like another 40 fucking minutes. And I'm losing it because my dad's like my best friend. I'm a computer geek, and I don't have any friends. I'm getting picked on at school. I'm fat, I got man boobs, they hurt, and I'm just like all in my head as a kid. I'm not getting haircuts, I just on the computer all day, just that was my life that I enjoyed playing RuneScape and just escaping from reality. Everybody was super mean at school and things like that, so I'm like, I just want to escape it. So I'm like, whoa, what am I gonna do without my dad? He's my only friend, and I just was like so hurt. And then finally the ambulance gets there, and it's kind of fucked up, but they bring him back to life, and it made it like really hard to deal with because he had to die again.
Holy fuck.
So I had to go through him dying twice. It was like, it was so fucked up, and they took him to the hospital. They didn't even medevac him because they didn't have that shit. So they drove him another 40 minutes, but he was on the breathing machine at that time, or they're pumping oxygen into him, however they do it. And long story short, he's on machines. They said they're gonna have to pull him, and I run out of the room. I'm screaming, I'm hitting the wall and all this stuff, and they pulled the machine, and they said he's gonna go. So I'm like, okay, I'm fucking dealing with it. I tell him, okay, see you later. I don't think he can. At the time, I didn't think he could hear me. I hoped he could, but I wasn't sure. And he doesn't fucking die, so I had to go through that again. So it was like a third time, And so he lives for another 2 weeks after, but he couldn't do anything. Like, he's just laying there. He couldn't even open his eyes. And they said he's brain dead, and he was dead long enough to be brain dead, for sure. But 2 weeks later, we're in the hospital room, and I tell him, it's okay. Like, I told him in his ear, it's okay. I'll be fine. You can go. Because my plan was to just take care of him. Was to like wipe his ass, whatever I had to do to take care of him. I didn't care, But when I saw him struggling so much to breathe, and they weren't really taking care of him, and I'd have to wipe his face all the time and snot and stuff, and it was just like, this is fucked up, So I told him, I said, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. Everything will be fine. You can go. Don't worry about it. I'll be all right. I got this. I got life. And about 2 hours later, get a call, and he's gone. So I do believe he heard me. Because he was fighting hard. But yeah, so once he passed, the next day came to California. Didn't go back to Wisconsin for almost 10 years because my mom and stepdad, they're on drugs, and they never really paid for anything to take care of us, like doctor visits or yet alone going to see my family in Wisconsin. So how I ended up with weed under the pillow once I got to California, is a big culture shock. And I could have told and by the way, like, my dad had assets and stuff, right? But I ended up with none of it because my uncles one of my uncles, I believe, took most of it, came in there, and my grandpa just didn't want to deal with it and just liquidated everything, and I heard he took off and partied up. But yeah, anyway, so I'm in California, go from multi room, basically like a mansion, to a 1-bedroom apartment in Pomona with 9 people. And, I'm sleeping on a blow-up mattress in the living room. And, everything is a big culture shock to me. It's like we're living like around gangbangers, and, it's way different. I'm like this computer nerd. So I change, I change. My brother introduced me to drugs. I see them in the house. So, I start getting high, smoking weed. That leads to other things, get curious about meth, start doing that. And that computer business, the Pocket Cash GPT, so my brother got me high on meth, and I was like, well, this is really good. How can we get more? And he's like, well, we need more money. So my first month was when my dad died. My first month in business, my first month of profit, it was $2,000. $1,000 to the people that did the service and $1,000 to me. We blew through that right away. And he's like, how can we get more money? And I was like, I'm up for days and shit. I was like, well, I bet you everybody has the same PayPal information as they do with the login information on my website, so I can log into their accounts and transfer money. So I log into their fucking accounts and I transfer money. and you know, I end up getting in trouble for it. You know, they sent people to the house and asked me how I hacked their accounts. And it was quite simple, really. They made a big, like, it seemed like I was this big hacker, but I was like, it's just like, I had a database with usernames and passwords and I just applied them, you know, and transferred the money, you know, and never got that money. But then I ended up selling the company for like $100 because it wasn't worth, it had a bad name after that. Right. And the lady told me it fell apart, but her business did millions of dollars. So it was like, if my dad didn't die, like that was my life. I was going to make millions of dollars, but would I be who I am today? I don't know. You know, I don't think so. You know, maybe I would have had health issues, overweight and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I would have watched my dad die 5 years later because he had liver failure going on, things like that. Right. He was going to die. You always had these conversations. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it till you're 18. You know, maybe you have a kid. I'm like, Dad, I'm 13. What the fuck are you talking about a kid? I haven't even kissed a girl. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so when we came to California, or when I came to California, is like, you know, no doctor visits. I had like ingrown toenail, like all these things didn't get taken care of. And drugs is all I got to know. So my mom knew I really liked weed. So, you know, she put weed under the pillow for me for my birthday. You know? And basically, I lived like this hustler lifestyle after that, you know, always trying to do the fast thing, you know, burn DVDs, CDs, go steal the printer ink and, you know, make the best bootlegs that I could. Ended up burning them too fast, getting my ass kicked in like Paramount and Pomona for selling shit that was skip and stuff, you know, and get robbed and stuff like that. And, you know, just ended up getting introduced to drugs really early, you know, and then my parents my stepdad would take me on drug runs he's a truck driver, got into a lawsuit, couldn't work because he's trying to bank on this big lawsuit. 10 years later, he gets like 100 grand. Like, was that worth 10 years of your life? But anyway, he gets in with the Mexican mafia basically, but not like as a member, but as a mule. And, you know, starts taking loads to Chicago, New York, Phoenix, and Detroit. And he's like, well, I have this kid, so I could take him as a decoy. So I'm not even going to school at this point, right? So I'm like one extreme to the other, you know, and starting to like dress like gangster and things like that, hanging out with, you know, gangsters and things like that. And, you know, listening to this music and thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a drug mule. And, you know what I mean? Just, you know, and, we're going to, you know, I remember we go to Detroit. My stepdad, he wouldn't even stop to let me shower. He would just feed me candy. My teeth are getting all rotten. Never got taken to the dentist. Spent over 20 grand on my teeth once I became like an adult. And, you know, I fixed all my shit and everything. You know, I had to learn everything like the hard way, you know, and I can't just blame like my raising for my lack thereof later, right? Because we can always change, right? So I kept going. I kept looking for that fast lifestyle, right? So I almost like envied it. So when we got popped multiple times. Like, well, my stepdad, he was always fucked up on fentanyl. So he'd be back when before it was all over the streets. It was like patches, and he'd suck on the patches that you're supposed to put on your arm. And he'd be passing out in the chair, and I'd steal them and I'd eat them because I was bored as shit. You know, I'd pop Benadryl just to fall asleep because we're fucking driving across the country. We only stopped at hotel, shower, nothing, and they give him stacks of loot. And it's like, come on, dude, he'd spend it all on fucking pills. But anyway, you know, that was basically how we lived until they went to prison. You know, because he trusted a tweaker. He stole like $250,000 worth of weed from an Arizona run, and basically like the MA was like, you know, it was to the point where he wasn't even answering the phone calls, and they were gonna like take out our whole family, you know. And it's crazy that like you would do that. You would just turn into a bitch like that and let your family get murked because you're a fucking bitch, and you just care about drugs so much that you trust some fucking cheeseball tweaker to go on you with a run. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. But anyway, you know, you do fucked up shit when you're on drugs. I get it, but I would never put my family in that kind of position. I would never do the things that I was around as a kid. I would never, but maybe it's because I went through that, so I wouldn't repeat it. Maybe because they didn't go through that. That's why they did it. I don't know, but I could never see myself doing that. Anyway, he ended up in this debt, and then to pay it off, luckily, instead of murking us, they allowed him to go on runs, you know, and more runs. And he'd take me again, and we got popped with $100,000 in cash coming back from New York. And you know, once they took that, it was like, dude, how much debt are we in now? 350. So it's like, at this point, it's like, kill the whole family or put them down for a big score, so they can get the big load across. So they have them go in this fucked up car that's been red flagged to Mexico. And he's like, don't take your wife, don't take the kids, so he can just get nailed. And he got a DUI staking out the dude's house because they made him stake him out and stuff like that, staking out his house because they could feel like he wasn't part of that. And they did the research and stuff. And I guess maybe they gave him a pass to all the kids. I don't know. But usually they don't. You know how they roll. But anyway, I think maybe it was about money to them at that point. They just wanted to get the big score in. So they had him go to Mexico. He takes my mom because he's got a DUI. So my mom has to drive. So on the way back, they have fun over there. They dance, drink, whatever. On the way back, they're going through the Calexico border, and it's the biggest bust. If you look it up, it's the biggest bust that happened through the Calexico border. It's 12 kilos of heroin. And they had it like in this super conspicuous area in the car, in a flag car. So it was like, boom. And my stepdad, no matter how fucked up he was, he says he swears he's seen the big boss like in a couple cars back, like a big SUV that could have easily been loaded down. And he has like that fast pass, and they probably checked him multiple times, and he's never riding dirty. So he probably easy score for him, especially when they had this, everybody's attention on this, right? So he went to prison. My mom went to prison. And at that point, like, I had a chance to like clean up because I went to my uncle's house, and he was like teaching me how to wax his cars, how to like do the lawn. And I looked at it like chores and stuff. But in the beginning, I didn't. I went to McDonald's. I was getting 50 hours a week. They really loved me there. I was, I was making bank, and I met this kid at school that got high. I would always find the kid, I had this other dude that I talked to now, Julian. He was all buff. He was already doing juice in high school,
Yeah.
And he's all buff and shit, and he's getting all the girls. And it's like, why wouldn't you just go with that dude? But you wanted to seek the, the numbness, you know what I mean? But my parents are in prison. My dad's dead. I use that as an excuse, to keep getting high and things like that. So things just went downhill after I started doing ecstasy in school, to popping in class, getting in fights and things like that, trying to sell weed, and my uncle's like, what the fuck? He's trying to give me passes, but he lives with his wife, and she kind of, runs the show, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, nah, he's got to go. I'm on probation from getting in a fight with my stepdad and tagging back in Pomona. And basically, I get put away. I get put away into juvenile hall. I go to camp. I go to placement. I run away from placement twice. They send me to camp, and then try to escape camp. They send me to a worse camp, and then it just time kept getting added on. Getting in fights, time kept getting added on. Ended up being a total of 18 months that was down for. And I came out, and then I ended up with my brother through his girlfriend's family, because they knew my dad's death benefits were finally going to come to me and not my mom, where they would spend on drugs. So finally the money's going to come to me, and they knew that they could get that money if I came in as a kid. And by the way, no, I had another chance, because at that point I was 17 in juvenile hall in camp, and I did some research, and you could get your GED at 17 while you're incarcerated, but you can't get it on the streets at 17, but you can get it while you're incarcerated. So they say you can come out and go to high school. But me, I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. Why would I go to high school when I get out when I can get a GED and go to college when I get out? So I got my GED, signed up for college right away. I'm at 17 years old going to college. Another chance, right? My aunt's sending me gas cards and to give my brother. What do? I find guys at school, and I get them fucked up by, I find the dudes that are trying to straighten out their life, and I'm like, the young kid, they're over 21. I'm like, yeah, let's go get some beers. I got these mobile gas cards, and if you pick me up from my house, we can spend all this shit on alcohol every day, So they're fucking pounding 40s in the car with me, and the dude's trying to get their life straight. But it's me, I don't know, maybe it's because I grew up like that. But I mean, at some point, you can turn it around. Like my uncle, I think it's drugs, really. If you think about it, alcohol. Seeing that being in my life, and also an excuse, I guess I'm making excuses,
No, I don't think so. I think you had a tough life, bro. I'm sorry. There's levels of toughness. When you're growing up, you had a tough childhood. It's fucking called it what it is.
Yeah, I think if I had the right,
you're a smart fucking guy. You got far. You did a lot of things. Look at where you are at 31 or 32. I mean, you're going to go far, and you're right. You can break that cycle, but you had a tough fucking childhood. Call it what it is. Own it. And look at you now.
All right. I'm in this thing where I'm trying to take responsibility for everything. I'm like, well, maybe it's my fault. My mom and dad.
No, it's not a matter of guilt. It's not a matter of blaming.
Yeah, he's right about that. It's not a matter of that. It's not. And now it's about owning the rest of your life.
Yeah. You did have a tough time.
Like
it's over though.
You know, it was rough, but you can. It's like, all those wonderful things that they say. I've even like heard you say them over there. But you can. Your life was a mess, but that mess becomes your message.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what? I was trying to like keep that hidden because I have a godfather who grew up in that era where it's like you don't tell people how fucked up you are. You if you want to make it to Hollywood and shit, you don't put that out there. So I went with his old school mentality, and every time I got on a big podcast or a TV show or something, I lied and I said no, I'm straight. You know, people in the comments like, oh, that dude's fucking lit off of his ass in like this Anthony Padilla interview, and it's like I fucking took Adderall and took shots in the car before I went in, you know.
Hey, we've had people on our podcast high on Adderall, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Laser focus.
I never owned up to it, and I never admitted this shit until I was with him last year, and I started wanting to, but I was like, oh, you know, is that the image? Like I really questioned it. Once I hit 30 days sober, I was like, this is what I want to do, and I wanted to been posting about it, but it's like I've been so busy since I got sober, moving, trying to keep my mind right, trying to you know, keep this business afloat. Like, you know, I just moved to Huntington Beach from Chino. I got this new car, even though like this is like my lower point. It's weird. It's like I'm pushing. Like I'm actually saving money by getting this apartment. Weird as it is, from Chino Hills to Huntington Beach, but half the size. You know, so I was like, okay, let's get the car. A car that we've always wanted, a badass car. So I got this Mercedes that I love, you know, it's convertible. It's like, okay, that's going to push me harder, you know, and appreciate myself. Cause like when I made all that money, because I went through that life, I was like trying to hold on to it. I wouldn't spend shit. I wouldn't go dating. I wouldn't go out, you know, like
blood money.
Yeah. I was always
blood money
tight to it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this could go away at any time. So when I did go in on something, went in crypto, and I went in so heavy, I went in contracts, like, a lot of it wasn't even coins, dude. I went like 80 G's into contracts that got liquidated. I mean, it was like, I've been through so much pain, you know, so much pain. But lately I've been looking at it like the pain is growth, you know, as fucked up as it is and stuff. And like you said, that's the message. And I'm getting settled into the apartment, and
we love pain.
Maybe this is the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I want to tell you something. I got to share. I never shared. I don't think I shared it with you. My dad was in a my biological father was in a motorcycle accident, hit his head, and went into a coma. They said he was dead. They pulled the plug. Never died.
Yeah, you did tell me this.
I did tell you. 10 years later. I mean, I'm long forgotten about this guy. You know, my parents were divorced. He wasn't around, never paid attention to us, blah, blah, blah. Old sob story. Died on my 23rd birthday, to the day, January 30th of 1991.
Wow.
Yeah, my 23rd birthday. So again, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just turned it around like it was a heavenly thing. It was a godly thing, you know. He just wanted to say a final goodbye. And then I was thinking maybe I should have gone to visit more. Yeah. Who knows why he was hanging on so long. 10 years. They pulled the plug, he lived. And they had to spoon feed him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He lived for 10 years.
Yeah, he lived for 10 years.
That's crazy.
In a vegetable state. Yeah.
Well, you know what the saying, you know the old saying, right?
No.
You don't?
No, say it.
Not that.
What?
Not nothing about being a vegetable or anything, but a saying about pain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When the pain of remaining the same outweighs the fear of change, that's when we change.
Yeah.
We're always so afraid to change, right? Like everybody's like, oh, I'm comfortable. That's why I no longer live in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
I am always uncomfortable, because I'm always willing to change. I'm always willing to press forward and grow in a state of like, well, I had a therapist that was like, Chad, there's something wrong with you. I mean, she didn't like literally say that. That's how I took it. But she was like, you're never satisfied. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not. And the reason why I'm not, one of the reasons why I'm successful is because I'm never satisfied. If I was satisfied, I would just be like, you know what? I'm good right here.
Yeah.
I've done enough.
Yeah.
Then what? I'm not that kind of personality. if I'm satisfied, I die.
Yeah. I like that.
Like I will die. So I live in an uncomfortable state, and in a healthy state of unsatisfaction.
Yeah.
I heard that on like some motivational speaker said something along the lines of a healthy state of being unsatisfied.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that.
Because how are you going to continue
Stay
to
hungry.
grow and be hungry? Yeah, you got to be hungry because you can like I could probably sell everything I have and be okay and live the rest of my life. I'm there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm there. But like, that's not what I want to do. Like, I want to continue to like, I have way bigger plans with this podcast, with, you know, making a difference in this world, leaving a legacy, leaving my mark, like Miguel Mendoza, Leave Your Mark podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do shit like that. I love this guy Miguel Mendoza, man. He's all of a sudden he's like a youngster.
He started from scratch.
Yeah, and he started podcasting, and I saw one of his videos one day. I was just like sitting there scrolling through the reels, and he had this video, and I posted it right when we started this podcast. I posted his, I screen recorded it, and he says, "What does he say? Help me out here." No, yes, help me out.
Can't do it.
Why not?
I forget it.
Why do you forget it?
Because I don't listen to Miguel Mendoza.
Yes, you
but
do.
I listened to that one.
He's not in your. Yeah, he
started off.
It starts off with everybody who's in front of me better be working because I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming hard.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I said that when I heard it, I was like, wow, we're just starting this podcast, right? And like this podcast exists because my son-in-law died from fentanyl. And it's like I'm not an extrovert. I don't like getting out. I don't like doing. This is different for me though. It's like it brings out that inner person inside of me when I sit here. The things that go on in my head are things that I truly say. The things that I say on this podcast are truly the things that I think about all the time. Like I'm always thinking about moving forward, becoming the best version of myself. Filling my mind with positive, motivational leadership.
Good influence. Yeah.
I don't put junk in my brain anymore, except for every once in a while. I also believe that you can put too much of that in there, and then you gotta have that thing that Jordan Peterson talks about. You gotta have that monster, that tamed monster inside of you. So you do have to. You know, whatever it is for you, but for me, it's gangster rap, like old school gangster rap, or even like I've been listening to Nipsey Hussle lately, or 50 Cent. You know, you gotta throw some of that shit in there, so that you still have that killer instinct. You
That's
can't.
crazy. I've been listening to a lot of that since I got sober.
Yeah, you can't.
I got 3 fucking
You
kids,
really
bro.
can't
They're
be a
at that
pussy.
age.
Like you can't. And in this day and age, man, you just have to have a little bit.
Yeah.
Because. You know, the shit that I hear is people are weak today.
Yeah.
And if you want to be successful, you don't even have to be that tough. You know, you just have to be a little bit more than the rest of the people.
Yeah, I think this was like a big dose of medicine for me. I'm super glad you guys had me. Thank you so much.
A shot in the vein. You have so much. You're 31.
It's like I've just been like. So I've been planning on like coming out and like talking more and doing videos, but it's like even when I was high, like I was so in my head.
That's so funny though. You say that you were planning on coming out because Shane came out on our podcast.
Yeah,
remember that time you came out? Yeah, you remember Michelangelo's laughing because what podcast was that? If we have a reel about it, and the person said, "I got out of the closet," and Shane's like, "I'm sorry."
Do you want to meet back in the closet?
Are we on him? Good. This is fucking good.
You know that was the funniest shit ever because you realized what you were saying.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Right when he was saying it, he realized he was saying it.
Oh my God.
Coming out of the closet.
And
oh my God.
He was like, oh.
Not here, baby.
Fuck it, I'm going back in the closet.
What podcast was what? I forget.
I don't even remember.
I forget. That was one of the...
Oh my god.
Was it Billy? It was Billy.
It was the other Billy.
Yeah, it was
It was the
Billy.
other Billy. Yeah.
That guy was funny too
Yeah,
because he was
yeah.
like, he's like Flintstone,
Yeah.
like Fred Flintstone shit.
Yeah. Yeah. He
But-
was good. He was raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You like it raw?
Bro, I have no choice at my age. Are you fucking kidding me? There's too much skin everywhere.
She's all, I come out of the closet too. Oh, I'll show you the reel after.
That's funny.
It's funny
Oh,
as hell.
shit.
You should find the reel and put it on the screen before this podcast ends.
That's hilarious.
God.
Billy.
Oh,
So, is it true? Are you out?
I'm out.
Can you show me?
I'm Canadian out. Well, I'm not shy. Ask Chad. Chad's,
I mean, I'm not. I'm done. I'm done telling that story.
You're one and done?
I've heard it.
I heard
burned it
down.
out?
I've heard myself tell this
Too
story
many times.
5 times on the podcast, so I'm done talking about the first time we met.
Yeah.
I keep hearing
All right,
the word down.
One more time.
Not done.
That's
Down.
okay.
This is the last time.
Forget it.
No, the last time. This is the last time.
This is the last time.
The last time I will tell this story. Okay. The first time I met Shane was like 13 years
13,
ago.
yeah.
2010. I had relapsed. I'm up in Lake Arrowhead at this treatment center. My roommate was a gay guy. We were, it was called, I'm not going to name the treatment center, it doesn't exist anymore, but we were at the Lake Arrowhead Resort and Spa.
Yes.
Because that's where they took us to work out. They had a nice gym there, they had a spa, and I just got done lifting. I was feeling healthy. I go back in the locker room. I'm cruising, just like walking with my roommate, and Shane comes trotting out of the hot tub, butt ass naked. Like butt ass naked. He's walking out. He stops at the top. He does a pose.
Yeah. Yeah. I never knew.
He does a pose.
Yeah.
The guy that's with me is like, he's like, that guy's a god.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
It was a good day. Anytime someone calls you a god, you got to appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No matter the
I never get
circumstances.
tired of this. And I never get tired of this fucking story. I'll tell you.
That's the first time I met him, and then next day they're like, "This is your drug and alcohol counselor."
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, that's amazing.
All right. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'll put it to the mic. Let's go. Can I go up? And then
I'm only gonna smoke it this time though, right? 'Cause I got class, I was clean for a little bit, but fuck, man, like the second day, it was just fuck, man, like real weird again. I'm a weirdo, man, and like not even like a good weirdo. There's no chicks, there's no like music, there's no cool car, I do have a Lincoln though, but
Just the closet.
I do, yeah, just the closet.
I know.
Yeah.
I end up in the closet. Well, yeah, all the time.
Closet. And that's about it.
I forgot about that one. That was good. We got to reel that one up.
it is a reel.
Is it a reel?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
shit.
Instagram.
Oh,
I
shit.
need to figure out how to make that one go viral.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
gotta put that hook in there, coming out the closet
Yeah, exactly.
in the beginning,
The hook coming
and
out
then
of the
go into
closet.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
He's like, oh, wow.
times.
He realized what he was saying.
Billy was funny.
Have AI do his fingernails pink.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Can AI do all that?
Wow.
I think these days.
I have AI. AI is amazing though. I mean, yeah, it can with that stuff these days, but I just have it write stuff for me.
It's amazing to a point, right? Like it's amazing to what it can do for somebody that knows how to utilize it, but for humanity's sake in the future, I don't think it's a
gonna
great
make
thing.
us stupid.
Yeah, that and when it gets too intelligent, right? You create a super intelligence.
There's always that worry because I've seen those movies. Was it Terminator, the original one?
iRobot,
Yeah.
Terminator,
Terminator.
Megan,
Yeah.
right? There's tons of them.
There's no
Terminator.
good. There's no good robot movie. Hey there.
Yeah,
But
It doesn't exist.
we give a robot a brain, and then
Yeah.
what are they? Of course, they're
Fucking
going to kill us.
Yeah.
think about how much like jobs it's already been eliminating too, right? Like just think a year or two in the future.
Oh,
you know what I'm
God,
saying? And in a bad economy,
You go to
You know what I mean?
McDonald's now.
they
You
have
freaking order on
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah, well, they have McDonald's that are fully autonomous now.
McDonald's apps. Yeah.
There's no
There's a
humans there at all.
robot that gives you brings your food out to you.
It's like conveyor belt. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like conveyor belts where they have the food prepared by the robots and everything. It comes on a conveyor belt and just boom, gives you your food right there. Drive through, same thing. It's like you drive up, you order, you pay, and then boom, conveyor belt, and just little
push on arm.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
No. What?
It's a Royale with cheese.
Oh my God.
You know, want to know why? Because they don't have the pound system there. So what else would it be? It can't be a quarter pounder,
Right? Yep. Yeah, they're doing that in LA.
I hear they're getting beat up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
I hear those things are getting beat up a lot.
Yeah, they're getting beat up.
Yeah, they're getting beat up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean they have the cars that. Oh yeah, we got to go, huh?
I remember you said you write AI, right? Or you have AI right?
I have AI write stuff for me.
So one thing that was pretty cool that I built, because I built way too many things, but one thing that was cool that I built through Airtable was I used OpenAI through Airtable, like scripting, and I have it building out all my pages so that way I can go nationwide. But right now it's just hitting out California, and then I have like a kid that's reviewing it for me. He knows what to look for to correct certain things, and then he submits it to Google SEO, to Bing, and then he creates goes into a dynamic database. He imports it and everything, so it's like pretty cool. I like built it fully customized for my business specifically. So that's like one thing that's pretty cool that came out of me trying to program and learn AI and all that stuff. And I'll just show you really quick here. So it's like like these are the Los Angeles pages, for example.
Oh, nice.
And they're they have like for example Agora Hills, right? If we click on it, so it has like all these
That's where
different
my
things.
wife's from, Agora Hills.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I clicked on it for a reason, huh?
Yeah.
But like it has like even like the images that are on there, it'll create like based on like a female's photo, it'll give you a name, so that way we know which photo to link to it, and they'll create a description about her, Title 1, Paragraph 1, all the way through Title 7, map description, map URL, everything. So literally you can export and import. And there's things that don't come out right, so he's been reviewing it for me, so it's pretty cool because I'm going to have him help me expand it, and then if he does good enough and he really gets serious, I'm going to have him, come in like a partnership with me so I can do other things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got it together for 30 and for going through the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The sky's the limit if you stay
bro.
sober.
Totally. I agree with Chad.
Yeah.
Typically, we're never wrong. At the same time, anyways.
Awesome. Well, thank you. You guys are giving me the juice.
Yeah, bro.
I'm a medium now.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yep.
They're telling me that if you stay sober, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, super successful.
You can become whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Oh,
That's
shit,
amazing.
Like a magical
That's
It's
genie.
perfect timing, man.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Well, we got
Nice.
a meeting,
Fuck, bro.
but
Thank you. Yeah.
It's good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.